WWE superstars will wear WrestleMania patches for one-of-one trading cards starting this weekend. So from what you know, who should we expect will have a WrestleMania patch from this weekend?
So, and I could be wrong, but I think everyone who is scheduled to have a match both nights. So I think that's like, I don't know how many matches that is, but that's a lot of people.
Okay.
They will have
A lot like 10 or a lot like 50?
I think like more like 50, because you got to factor in like the Fatal 4-Ways and the Triple Threats and the tag team matches and all the multi-man matches. And with it being 2 nights.
So it's a good amount of people.
It's going to be a good amount of people, but it's still going to be a very limited amount.
Okay.
So I would say probably under 100,
Okay.
probably more, or probably close to it. I would have to definitely look at the match cards and just kind of get a head count, but it's not going to be a crazy amount.
Okay, understood.
Basically what they're going to do is they're going to put that WrestleMania patch on their boots.
Yeah.
So after they wrestle, they'll go back in the back. Fanatics will authenticate it. They'll cut it out. They'll have them sign the one-on-one card, and then it'll be randomly inserted. And I think it's going to be future Topps Chrome products.
You think that's where it'll be?
They haven't really specified what it's going to go in.
Yeah, it just says these will be inserted into random packs of an upcoming trading card collection for lucky fans.
And this is going to be a big deal for wrestling fans. I think it
Huge.
really is, because the historical impact that this could have potentially for some of the big matches like Cena and Cody, it's going to be insane.
I mean, we've had this conversation before when we've talked about it with baseball. With, you know, I made the claim on when the Paul Skeens debut patch auto sold that the Paul Skeens debut patch auto will be the single best card ever created for Paul Skeens. You could not top that. I've made that argument. I believe debut, game used, patch auto, on card, that exists. That is the best Paul Skeens card they will ever make. Would you make the argument that this will be the best cards for a lot of these modern day wrestlers now? Cody, you know, Cody's a great example. I'll get into the Cena piece in a second, but like for most of these guys, will this be like their best cards? Do you envision that being the case?
Absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, because like we talked about it before we went live, like if John Cena was to win the main event, he breaks Ric Flair's record. The significant impact of that for being having the most title reigns in WWE history, having 17 world titles, to say that you have the patch auto of a guy that broke the record, that is just a historical impact. And even guys like CM Punk, to pull the curtain back a little bit, CM Punk went on absence. He went on leave for like 10 years. He walked out on the company because one of the things he really wanted to do was main event at WrestleMania, and he was getting passed on and bypassed for other people. And eventually he took his ball and went home. 10 years later, he's back, and he's main eventing WrestleMania for night one. He's main eventing WrestleMania.
That's the person that Topps featured on their article. So there's clearly, like, this is where Brandon is the wrestling expert, because I would have never in a million years known why CM Punk was the guy featured on the WrestleMania debut patch, but that makes a ton of sense. So that's obviously CM Punk, again, because of that backstory, huge card for CM Punk.
Absolutely.
But just so I'm on the same page, John Cena winning breaks the world record for most wrestling titles ever, beats Ric Flair, and did it while turning heel on his way out with his last WrestleMania ever. So first time you ever see a debut patch auto, or first time you ever see a WrestleMania patch auto, turning heel, final ever, breaking the world record. Could you say that this John Cena card, wherever it comes, could be one of the greatest wrestling cards ever made?
With 100%, without a doubt. Because you see this nostalgia with guys like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. That's a lot of people that grew up watching them, you know, in the 80s, 90s. Kids like me, you know, John Cena was our Hulk Hogan, was our Ric Flair. Yeah, as we get a little bit older, we are the ones that are starting to collect this product and these cards. There is going to be someone out there that is willing to spend a massive amount for something as historical as this, if he wins. If he doesn't win, it's still going to be significant because of this is his last year competing. He'll never wrestle again. So even if he doesn't win, it's still going to sell really well. But if he's a 17-time champion, all said and done, and he's the guy, he's going to go down as the greatest of all time, which I think he already is. But I think he's going to go down as the greatest of all time. And if you have a GOAT, WrestleMania patch auto 101. It's the only one that's ever going to be made. It's going to be.
There's just so much historical significance behind it because of the turn heel, the breaking the world record, first ever WrestleMania patch auto on his retirement tour. Like, I think you've got so much of that stuff built into it. It just seems like, I guess I would ask you this. Does he win? Do we sit here Monday when this podcast drops and you say, he beat Cody, he turned heel, he won, it's over?
As a fan, I absolutely want John Cena to win. As a long-term fan growing up with the WWE spinner belt, the toy belts, and the T-shirts and the wristbands, I don't care. He's a bad guy. He sold his soul to The Rock, but as a true wrestling fan, I want to see him break the record. That is my GOAT. I want to see him walk out. I want to see him December 31st when he is gone, when he's gone for good, he can say that he has the record. I think as a fan, I think it makes sense for him to win, kind of see where it goes, because the whole thing with Cody, the whole thing with him was he wanted to finish the story. He wanted to win the title that his dad never got. He finally got that chance. He beat Roman Reigns. It was a historical event at Last Mania. Yeah, it took him years to find himself, come back as a main event guy, win the title. He's kind of floated around through storylines. He's been incredible. Don't get me wrong, he's been incredible. But it would make so much sense for him to drop the title, have John Cena win, break the record, and have that story of Cody getting back to the top and essentially dethroning Cena. That's where I want to see. I could see the scenario where Cody goes out on top, but as a true fan, I really want to see Cena break that record. I really do.